Yes, indeed. What is up? My name is Keystone Defiant. I'm feeling like chilling out and playing some Picross. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. If you've never played Picross before, what the hell are you doing? It's a very enjoyable game. Very chill. I'm a big fan of it. Except when I don't get very much in the way of hints. That part kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, that bit kind of sucks. Hope your day is going well. I've moved some stuff around here on the stream just a little bit, just to, I don't know, make it feel a little bit more homey, I guess, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, if you've never played Picross before, let me explain what the hell's going on. Didn't make any headway on this, so I'm fine with that. Let's bounce back. Let's bounce back a ways to something easy. Let's do a 5x5. Yeah. So Picross is a really interesting kind of puzzle game, right? It looks a little daunting right now, like what the hell are all these numbers doing around? The numbers are very easy. The idea of the game is to basically make a picture by filling in these different squares, right? And the numbers tell us how many squares are filled in that row or column. So if we look at this column here, where it says 5, going down, that means 5 squares are filled in. Well, there's 5 squares there, so we could fill all these in. And then we have this 5 that goes across, and we have 5 squares available across, so that has to be filled in, right? Right. Now, if we look over here in this column where it says 4, well, that means I've got 4 of these actually filled in, right? And we do some deduction to kind of figure out exactly what's going to be where, but we'll get to that here in a second. Let's take the low-hanging fruit. Here's another 5 across, right? Cool. Well, we got this 3, right? And that means that there's 3 of these that are going to be filled in. Now, normally you would think, like, well, there's 3 of these open. However, the key is the fact that they have to be contiguous, right? So if we look over here at this column here where it says 1, 2, that means that there's going to be 1 filled in, at least 1 blank, and then a set of 2. So if we look at this, we've got our 1, and then we've got this other one here. Because they need to be 2 contiguous, it cannot be here. And I can mark things that I've logicked out as impossible to fill, that go against the rules of a row or a column with an X. So because of that, this also has to be an X, because this is filled in, which means this has to be our 2. Going back to that 3 that we were just looking at, because we know that they have to be contiguous, that has to be filled in, which means these cannot be filled in. And we're going to fill in X's in situations where we can't have something because it's going to make our lives easier down the road. If we look at this column of 4 here, well, we know this is going to be filled in, but we still don't know what's going on here. However, if we fill in the X's from this top row, right, because we've already filled in this 1, that means the only option is this 4, which means that has to be an X, which means this is the only square left. Easy peasy. And once you start doing these a little bit more, you get really darn fast at them, and they're pretty enjoyable. And that was only a 5x5. We can pump it up a little bit. Let's do this 10x10, right? Now we can see that we don't have a lot of really good contiguous things. We don't have any of the gimmies where it's like, oh yeah, just fill in like 10. That's fine. We still have more than enough clues to work with. So right here we've got this 8. Well, we know that it's not going to fill all the way in, but we can kind of get there. So if we count from this top, 8 squares, right? And I'm just going to mark them with those little diamonds, and that doesn't really mean anything in the game. It's not filled in and it's not crossed out. It's just kind of like an indicator for us. If I were to count from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, these have to be filled in. The overlap has to be filled in because those are the 2 extents of that column. So from here, I can fill in these, knowing that no matter what, these are always going to be filled in, regardless of where the rest of those fill in at. Now, we're just going to fill in these X's because that's the only thing that can go there. There is a 1 on each of these rows, so those have to be filled in. Now, if we look at this, we've got a 1 and a 2, so we don't know what we're going to do up here for this 1, but we do know down here we can fill in those, which also means that we can fill this in with X's. Now you might be looking at that going like, oh, what the heck? There's a 4 there, but there has to be at least one open spot in between that 4 and the 1, and that cannot happen there. So we know that that spot right there is going to be the 1. Now, kind of working from that same idea that we were looking at with the column of 8, we know this has to be filled in. Has to be. Now, we could have a fill in here or here to finish that 3 on that row. We don't know that yet. But what we do know is that this has to be here, which means that also gets filled in. We're going to do the same thing on this column of 7, 1 that we did on the 8. Now, it's not going to be as easy, right? So that is the absolute maximum that it could be coming from the top down, right? So we're going to do the same thing going bottom up. So this would be filled in. That would be a space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those have to be filled in because they overlap between the top and the bottom if we were going at worst case scenario from both ends. And we know that these are all going to be filled in because it's just 1, right? Now let's do a little bit of more thought experimentation here. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Space 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, space 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing that same overlap, that same kind of reduction in logic. So I put those X's there, right? That also means that these 2 squares here can't be a part of that 4, which means we just finished that entire row. Not by actively looking for it, just by deduction. Easy. So now we just kind of put X's at the things that need X's. That also gives us the answer for that 4 and the 3, which gives us the answer for the 8, which also gives the answer for this. Looking at another reduction and overlap, this has to be filled in. Can't really fill in anything else right now. We can do that same reduction here as well. Or the overlap, rather. We can do that 4. Fill in all these. Oh, no, not there. I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup right now. We know that this has to be filled in, which means that has to be filled in, which means these 2 have to be filled in, which gives us these, and the last one. And normally I go a lot faster, but I want to kind of like pace it so that you can kind of follow along. So hopefully you guys kind of understand the basics of Picross at this point and some of the ways that I'm getting to these answers. So yeah, let's do something a little bit more challenging, shall we? Yeah, I've not done either one of these yet, and it runs in my mind is because they're a little bit more difficult, so I might completely stall out here. Space 1, 2, 3, 4, space 1, 5, 6, 7. Boy, they're really giving me nothing here. One space, 2 space, 3 space. Okay, so that can't be the 5, so that has to be a 1. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that could be 3 and 3 there. These we have no idea about. What else? The thing about starting a Picross puzzle is just trying to get your bearings and looking for that low-hanging fruit to kind of get you started, you know. And once you kind of get into some of the harder puzzles, you do see these as low-hanging fruit, even though they don't feel like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space 1, 2. Yeah, there's not going to be any more overlaps there, unfortunately. Oop. That's going to be blank. Doesn't help with that 4. You really want to kind of get to one of the corners because that's really going to start allowing you to build. If I can get like here, if I can get this 5 up here, oh, life's good. I'd even take this 3 over on the side just because it's probably going to build into that 5, which is then going to allow me to build into that 6-1. But alas, we're not there yet. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space. Okay. That'll work as an overlap. 1. That is probably the 1, but I'm not going to bank on it because this could still be a 3 in that column there. Still don't have enough to finish off that 741, even though it's not really going to get me anything. Even if I finish it off, it's not going to really build on anything else. I don't think this is going to overlap. What is this? 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, space 1, 2. Yeah, going to get one of them out of there. However, that does tell us that this is a 6, so we can do that, which means we can do that. And that does help a little bit, not phenomenally well. God, I need a haircut. Jesus. Unfortunately, I can't go get one right now, and I won't be able to for a while, which is a pain in the ass. Okay, so this does have the potential to get nasty because this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it could just be a straight 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's assume worst case, right? Let's do that. This could still be the 4. We don't have enough info yet, but we do have enough to block that. Which does help to a small degree. Not a ton, but a smaller degree. Just because, like that, not giving us anything. But later on, this will help inform the rest of these decisions that we have to make up here. God. After a little bit more thought, these two have to be filled. This has to be part of that 3 in the column, which then gives us this 4, which then gives us this 7. Ooh, girl. Alright, okay. So we just about finished that 7-4, but again, it's not really giving us much of anything. It kind of reduced a little bit up top. And if we can get something else going in one of these columns, that'll certainly help, but it's not really going to do anything right off the bat. It needs a little bit of help to be useful. That's a song name, isn't it? Oof. Okay, do a little bit of cleanup here. Things that cannot fill. Nope. Still nothing there. Nothing doing, which is unfortunate. What else we got here? That might be a 2. I mean, this has to be a 2-1, right? Because this would be 3, potentially 3. 1 space, 1, 2. Space, 1, 2, 3. I'm making a big leap of faith here, because I don't have any basis to make that play, but I'm doing it anyway, because, why not, right? Kinda hoping this is the one down here, but it's potentially not. Right, so like if this is the 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Darts. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're building. This is our 3, which means these have to be our 4s, which don't do much of anything for us. Bummer. But we're moving. We're not completely landlocked yet. And this could still be... No, this can't be the 3, can it? No, this has to be a 1, right? So, 3... Yeah. Which means this has to go there. Has to. Has to. Must. Must. Okay, a little bit more cleanup. Okay, my guess is that these are going to be filled, but I don't have any basis in that. But that's my guess. I think those are going to be filled, these are going to be nothing, and this is going to be our 1. I think that's the way it's going to roll. Pretty darn sure. But again, I don't have any evidence to support that yet. Just kind of like, yeah, this is logical, but not mathematically sound yet. And the one thing I found in playing this game is that if you make those logical leaps that don't necessarily have mathematical evidence based on the rules that a column or a row is giving you, you might be right, but when you have to go back and fix things, it's a real pain in the ass. absolute pain in the ass. Alright, so we got one more 1 in this row. That 3 is never going to get filled in unless I get some help. We know that's going to be a 3, so this has to be that 2. 1 space, 1 space. So that has to be a 1. Which means those have to be filled in. Okay, that kind of helped. A little bit of help there. We like it. Okay, cool. We still don't have any help for this 2-1. We don't have any help for this 3. We don't have any clues coming off of here, but it is a good basis. Once I get something else down, somewhere, anywhere, that'll help. Alright. Now if that's a 5 space, 1, 2, yeah, this has to go here. I keep saying it has to. Like I'm willing it to go there. That's not the case at all. That can't be filled. It's a 2. It's got to be our 3, right? Which means that can't be filled in. Which means this has to be our 3 over here. Okay, good. Making it happen, yep. I'm just... Remember what I said about, like, making a mathematical leap without actually having basis? I just kind of threw that one out, didn't I? But hey, you know what? If I dork it up, I dork it up. Okay, so that was 1 overlap. That should be our 5, which is great. Alright, that's a 3. That's got to be filled in. Cool. Neat. Yeah, we're just doing a little bit of cleanup right now. That cleanup is very, 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 very important. Alright, so none of these can be filled in, which means that goes there. That goes there. Those can't be filled. That's our 1. Oh, no, that's 3. There's our 2. I like it. Making headway. Digging it. Oh, got that corner, even though it didn't really pay off all that much. Building into that corner really made us some headroom and just finished off that entire lower left corner of the puzzle, which is really, really good for us. And that'll be a 6, that'll be a 5, that's our 3, that's a... Oh, wait. No, that's gotta be there. Yeah. Meaning that's a 2. Meaning that's a 1 there. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. 1, 2. Cool. That's there. That's filled. Neat. I like it. Alright, so we're good over here. That'll fill in our 4. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Now I'm at the point where I'm just looking for the easy ones to kind of fill in the blanks. And it's not like it's tremendously difficult. It's just a matter of using your eyeballs to kind of figure out where things are and where you expect them to be. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. That's gonna do her. Bingo, balloons. Yeah, baby. We like it. Probably took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, 14 minutes. Yeah, the rest of these have been like 7, 8 minutes. Hot dog was 19. I think sunfish was fucking easy. Bear was 3 minutes total. I'm also playing with no assists. There are ways to turn on some assists, especially when you're getting started, to make your life a little bit easier. And it basically just highlights rows or tells you when you're wrong, so you're not wasting a ton of time. So, really good start here. I say that knowing full well that if they give you gimmies like that, the rest of the puzzle is not going to be so friendly. Because a lot of these are engineered specifically to mess with your brain and to cause you great anguish. Alright, so we know that those have to be like that. Doesn't help with 3, so now let's start looking for some of the other low-hanging fruit, right? Oh, hey, I like these. Okay, I dig it, I dig it. That's gonna allow us to do this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, space, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, neat. Let's say that, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. Yeah. Is this a mistake? Maybe. Probably. Right. Yes. Okay, that's 2. Is that the 4? Yes, the 4. Meaning this is the 3, 1. Nope. Dark something up. Okay. Nope. Oh, duh. I don't know why I filled those in. I can't make that judgment. Oh, ooh, That makes a lot more sense that way. I like that a lot more. Okay. Remember how I said I think this is a mistake? I don't know if I said it there, but I know I said it at some point. I think this is the same way as that 2442. Yeah, math. This is probably the 6. I'm feeling like that's the 6. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Means we already got that overlap, meaning this is probably our 3, this is probably our 2. That's gonna be blanked. Okay, neat. Eh. Eh, 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 eh. Alright, we digging it? Digging it, we digging it. Tell me more. Those are 2. That's blank, that's 2. Super great! Super great. I will say this puzzle is a mess right now. Holy shit. I'm not really building from any corner. I'm not building out. It's just like chaos. It's like, oh, I see a pattern. Let's fill it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Something is wrong. This is wrong. That's wrong. Should have just did that one straight up. I am a moron. Oh my god. Keystone is a moron. Why is he so stupid? Oh my god. The thing about Picross is the fact that, like, you'll build in something and you'll fill in something else where you're like, oh, I should have seen that first. And I'm an idiot for not seeing it. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily bad. It just means that you weren't looking in that particular direction at that particular time. I'm really bad at that. I will fully admit, you're probably seeing stuff where I'm like way over here and you're like, but this is gonna solve everything. So we're gonna call it here. And yeah. Hoping to do some live streams with this game. There is another version called Picross S3 that I've not started up yet. And I kind of want to start from the beginning live with some friends and, you know, hang out, play live and whatnot. But right now is not that time. Right now is Sleepy Boy time. So I'm gonna pop off here and probably leave uploading this till tomorrow. Maybe add in some fun stuff, assuming that this recording actually worked well. Been having some problems with the mic and whatnot, so yeah, we'll see what happens. If you're watching this now, then everything went fine, and if you're not watching this now, then I don't know how the hell you're watching it. Stop hacking my computer, nerd. Later on.